A very good morning, class 11th. We are starting with the chapter that is Animal Kingdom, right? And we talked about its basic parameters on the basis of which animals are divided into different phylums. And then we talked about one phylum, started with one phylum, that is the Porifera. Now, continuing with our chapter, we are going to start with our second phylum, that is Coelenterata. Coelenterata is the older name, and now this phylum is known as Cnidaria. Right? We will see that why it is known as Cnidaria. The older name is Coelenterata, newer name is Cnidaria, but both are the same group. Now, when we talk about the habitat of cnidarians, or you can say coelentrates, they are mostly marine. They are generally marine, but exception again we are having, that is the hydra. Hydra is a freshwater cnidaria. Hydra is a freshwater cnidaria or coelenterata. If we talk about the symmetry, they are radially symmetrical. This is the first phylum in which we are going to talk about. They are radially symmetrical. Body development is diploplastic, mean the whole body is developed from the two germ layers. What are those two germ layers? Ectoderm and your endoderm, and between ectoderm and endoderm there is a jelly like structure which is present, which is known as mesoglia. The level of organization here is observed little bit one step ahead than the porifera, means tissue level organization is observed. If you recall lecture number 2, we said in the porifera which level of organization? Yes, sona nahi, which level of organization in the porifera? Cellular level of organization. Cavity, when we say body cavity, they do not have a true body cavity, so they are acoelomates. That we have to keep in mind, that they are acoelomate. So when we talk about their body structure, as you can see in the hydra, there is no true body cavity is present, but this cavity present here is known as cylindron. Cylindron is actually a gastrovascular cavity or gastrovascular cavity which allows the entry of food, and opening or inlet through which food enters into the body, that is known as hypostome. So cavity is known as cylindron. True body cavity, body development cavity is absent, but otherwise the cavity which is present here when the through which food enter, which allow the entry of food, that is the gastrovascular cavity, it is known as cylindron. C for coelenterata, C for cnidaria, C for cylindron. जैसे in the sponges we talked about a cavity which was the spongocoel. Mode of nutrition, because they are carnivorous, their mode of nutrition is holozoic mode of nutrition, in which ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, these all steps they take place. Digestion is not completely extracellular, not completely intracellular, as it was complete intracellular in your porifera group. Here it is partially extracellular as well as intracellular. When we talk about the waste, how do they remove their body waste? The body waste is removed through the body surface, as well as they exchange of gases. Respiration also occurs through body surface. So respiration and elimination of waste, or you can say excretion, that happens through body surface in the coelenterata or cnidaria. Waste because they are marine, they lives in the water, so they don't need to conserve water, so waste is eliminated in the form of ammonia. Now body wall has outer layer, and that outer layer is known as epidermis, and internal wall is known as gastrodermis. It has two layers, that is the gastrodermis, as well as outer wall is known as epidermis. In between these two layers, that is the gastrodermis and your epidermis, a jelly like material, gelatinaceous material is present, and this gelatinaceous material or jelly like material, it is known as mesoglia. It is known as mesoglia. Now, why we are calling them as cnidaria? Why we are calling them as a cnidaria? We will now keep that point in our mind, why we are calling them an cnidaria. Now, as you can see, on the surface of epidermis, they have few cells, and these cells are known as cnidoblast or stinging cells. They are known as stinging cells, stinging capsule, or cnidoblast or cnidocytes. These cells are present on the outer epidermis as well as on the tentacles. If we draw the diagram of hydra at the tip, you will see at the surface they have these tentacles, and on the tentacles these cnidoblast cells, they are observed. These cnidoblasts, they are observed. If we enlarge one cnidoblast, अगर इसका स्ट्रक्चर एनलार्ज करें हम, what will you observe? You will observe a oval shaped structure. This oval shaped cell is cnidoblast, which is having nucleus as well as which is visible, that is the cytoplasm nucleus, that is the visible one. Then from the surface there is a thread like very small the structure protrude out from the cnidoblast, very small thread like structure, very thin. That structure at the tip is having a very sharp structure at the tip which pierce in the body of prey, जो कि जाके अटैक करता है prey की body में. These are known as, this structure is known as nematocyst. Basically, when these cnidoblasts, they act as a stinging cell, then they have this nematocyst. Suppose from this cnidoblast, this nematocyst get detached, अलग हो जाए अगर बॉडी से, तो ये नाइडोब्लास्ट अगेन उसको सिक्रीट करना शुरू कर देते हैं. इट मीन्स nematocyst, which is a stinging cell, it is a very helpful structure in the cnidarians. The name cnidaria, it is derived from because they are having cnidoblast or cnidocytes. Now, these cnidoblasts, they help in their defense mechanism, they help in capturing the prey, and they help in the support. That is the major function of cnidoblast. That is the reason, अगर इसको cnidoblast से ये detach कर दो, अलग कर दो, तो वो body again produce करेगी. But if suppose it remain attached, then this is one cnidoblast. This is a flask shaped structure, one cnidoblast. Then it hold this thread like structure inside this flask shaped, and up at the tip it has very sharp sting, and this whole structure is known as a stinging structure or nematocyst. Listen to me very carefully once again. When we draw the structure of cnidoblast, they have this long thread like body and at the tip a very sharp structure. So this whole structure is known as nematocyst, which is a स्टिंगिंग. स्टिंग का मतलब होता है किसी को तीखा सा एकदम जाके कुछ चीज आप चुभा दो, कुछ लगा दो. दैट इज अ स्टिंगिंग. स्टिंग दिस इज नोन एज बेसिकली स्टिंगिंग capsule, and it plays a very helpful role in the capturing of the prey. So cnidarians, they have these cnidoblast, as well as this cnidoblast they are produce nematocyst. Now cnidarians, if we talk about their body, cnidarians show two basic body forms. What are those body forms? Polyps and medusa. If cnidarians, they don't live alone, they usually live in the form of colonies. So if they are living in the form of colonies, then the members, each member of this colony, suppose this is a very big group, right? Lots of members are present here. So each member of this group is known as zooids, and zooids, they occur in the two forms. One is the polyps and one is the medusa. Polyps is a sessile, immobile member, but if required, if there is a requirement, then they can move also. The example is hydra. Normally they remain attached to the substratum. But yes, it doesn't mean that they are permanent, will be attached. No, whenever there will be need, then they can move. But medusa is a very popular form. Medusa is a free swimming umbrella shaped structures. They are free swimmers. They are having umbrella shaped, and one of the very interesting, very beautiful example of these cnidarians is jellyfish. So two forms in which the body, in which the cnidarians, they show their appearance, that is the polyps, and the second one is medusa. Medusa is free swimmers and polyps, they are immobile normally. Reproduction can be through asexual, and if it is asexual, then it will be through by exogenous budding, means buds on outer surface. And if the reproduction is sexual, then the reproduction will occur through the gametes, right? Development can be direct and development can be indirect. If you don't know the meaning of direct and then indirect, then please go through the lecture number 2, in which we have talked about direct and indirect development. If there is a larval stage, which totally distinct from the adult stage, not at all similar to the adult stage, then that is called indirect development. But if the young ones and adult, they are similar in their you can say in their development, young ones and the adult, they look similar, then that development is called the direct development. Larval stage is not involved in the direct development. Direct development example is hydra, and indirect example is mostly all other members of cnidarians. They are indirect, they show indirect development. Hydra is also the example of your polyps for body form. So cnidarians, when we talk about Coelenterata or cnidarians, which things we should keep in our mind? One major thing which we should keep in our mind is that they are having cnido blast cells. And these cnidoblasts, they are having stinging cells. They produce stinging cells or nematocyst. Because of these cells, this group is known as cnidaria, right? Then one other major thing which we have to keep in mind, that the body, few cnidarians, they exist in both life forms. Which life forms? Means polyps as well as medusa. And it means alternatively they go through polyps and medusa, and this alternation of generation is known as मेटाजेनेसिस. जैसे हम गैमीटोफाइट से स्पोरोफाइट जाते थे, हमारे ब्रायोफाइट्स में गैमीटोफाइट प्रोड्यूस स्पोरोफाइट एंड देन स्पोरोफाइट प्रोड्यूस gametophyte. So there is a alternation of the body forms, and this process is known as metagenesis. Obelia is a in obelia, polyps produce medusae by asexual reproduction, and medusae produce polyps through the sexual reproduction. Obelia is the example of cnidaria in which both body forms you can see, polyps as well as medusae. It produces medusae by asexual reproduction and produce polyps through sexual reproduction. Example, if we have to see of cnidarians, then first is the Portuguese man of war. It is very often known as the jellyfish also. Look at the structure, you will observe it like a air bubble. It is this bubble like structure is the bladder, gas filled bladder of the Portuguese man of war, and its name is Physalia. It is the polyp structure, and because of this structure it is known as Portuguese man of war, because it is a gas filled structure which helps Physalia to sit above the water, or you can say float above the water, and it is very, very close resemblance to the old warship at the full sail. Basically इसकी जो structure है, it resembles to their warship, so it is commonly known as Portuguese man of war. बहुत children, they get confused that what is the name given to this jellyfish. That is the Portuguese man of war. Its zoological name is Physalia, very commonly often known as jellyfish. Then there is the sea anemone. Sea anemone is our known as Adamsia. Sea anemone is Adamsia. Sea pen is Panatula. Sea fan is Georgionia. And brain corals, they are known as Mindrina. So this is the sea anemone, that is the Adamsia, and here is Panatula, that is sea pen, and there is sea fan. Very beautiful structure, as you can see that it looks like a fan. It is a sea fan. And then there is the corals, brain corals, Mindrina. They all are the examples of our cnidarians. One more time, Portuguese man of war, Physalia, sea anemone, Adamsia, pen-like structure, Panatula, fan-like appearance, Georgionia, and brain corals, that is the Mindrina. So this is all about our second phylum, which is the Cnidaria, or you can say that is the Coelenterata. And the next we are going to start with our another phylum.